we're going to do a Q&A video today, so grab some tea. It's hot. Hi, I'm Robin Mellum. I'm a children's book author and a middle school teacher, and I've created a writing program called the Structured Writers Workshop. And it has been, gosh, I think it's been almost 1 year exactly from the day that I decided that I wanted to create this program and put it out there in the world. I thought I would get it traditionally published because that's what I've done with my books in the past, but I ended up deciding to put it out there myself. And I'm so glad that I made that decision because I've been able to connect with teachers in a way that I might not have been able to if I was kind of like behind the wall of a traditional publisher. There's lots of things that you can't really do when they own the rights and everything. So I am just spending my time like helping you guys and connecting with you, and it's been fabulous. And I've heard such good results, like scores, mid-year test scores that are going up. That's incredible. And then I'm getting feedback from you in different ways, either here on YouTube or replies to my newsletter, or if you're over on TikTok, or maybe like all these different areas where I'm hearing from people. And I wanted to kind of come together in one spot and do a Q&A. And I have, let's see, I have props here today. I have 5 questions that have come from like various places. And I'm going to go through these 5 and hopefully these help you. But if you have more, put them below and we'll do more stuff like this. Okay, question number 1. How often do you collect and grade your warm-ups, and how do you manage them without wasting time? For example, when students arrive late, like how do you make that time work and not make it where you're trying to get caught up with all the other students and stuff? This year, I feel like I finally landed on my final answer of how I'm going to do this, even though I change it every year. Like I just tweak little things here and there. But because of all the research that I did on what's working in writing and like what do kids take away from grammar instruction, where are they actually learning this? And then I incorporated that into my warm-ups. And by making like the student-led workshop, I use a lot of that structure in my warm-ups at the very beginning of the day. So they come in, they have 5 minutes, and I have a student who runs a timer. They run this whole thing, and they know they need to go in and do their warm-up, and I put it into Classkick, and it's 3 tasks that they have to do every day. And the first one is sentence combining, and that was one of the things I saw in the research was students learn grammar by sentence combining because they understand the structure of it, what makes it a complete sentence, an incomplete sentence, the comma, then conjunction, the capital O, the period. They have to do that one perfection. And I give them stickers for it, digital stickers. And then the middle one is like a multiple choice test prep kind of question to get them ready for testing because, well, anyway. And the third one is always a quick write where they're doing kind of stream of consciousness, whatever comes first. You don't have to get your spelling correct. You need to get as many words onto the screen or the page as you can. That's how you get to be a better writer, is by writing a ton all the time. So I put all 3 of them up in Classkick, and I put my whole entire week in there. So, and I only reveal like a day at a time so they can't work ahead because I don't want them to work ahead. Some of them had done that. That's why I had to put the Gandalf stop, you shall not pass things on there, because I had one kid who's like, whoo, go through the whole thing. Anyway, so then at the end of the week, I have them export it as a PDF and then they submit it to me online. And then if they're late to class, you're still responsible. If you are absent that day, still responsible. So they always have the link to it. I have it up in our online school so that they can grab the warm-ups whenever, if there's some problem, like they were pulled out of class or whatever, it's there and they're responsible for it by the end of the week. And so they get 1 point per task. At the end of the week, they're getting 15 points. And it has like lightened a huge load for me because their structure on that first slide is getting so good. Like they're really getting it. The perfection part, they're getting it. And then the accountability part, and then I don't have to worry if you're late or whatever because you have to do it on Friday, so that's how it works. Okay, question number 2. is there a way to introduce the workshop to students? Yes, I'm working on that, because that's when I was talking about like how cool it is that I can connect with you all. There's been a lot of things that I've added to the program based on what you've been asking for. Just fantastic. Just tell me what you need. We'll make the program work. And one of those was like making student-facing directions. So at the beginning of the year, or whenever you're introducing it, you could do it mid-year. You could do it the last quarter. I mean, it's worthwhile doing it if you can have a block of time. So I'm in the middle of creating these like student-facing directions, because I'm so used to it. I know exactly, I can just explain the whole thing off the top of my head, but you all can't, because you're not in my brain. So I am making these slides that will walk you through it with the kids at the beginning of the year, kind of get them excited, like I kind of get them going, like, here's all the things that you get to do, and blah, blah, blah. But at the end, it says, but wait, you're not ready. You can't start the workshop until you have proven that you can successfully write with voice. That's the requirement to get into the workshop. So then that's when you would have them go back and do that voice activity, so that, and like, they don't know this, but what's actually happening is you're teaching them how to have confidence and stamina. That activity is what that's for. And then they go into the workshop with this momentum, and then it builds from there. So that's kind of the best way to do that. So keep following along and get on my email list if you want to have that. I'll be sending it out to my email list, and then I post it in my Facebook group, and I get feedback from it. Like, what do you want, some changes, whatever, just let me know, and we can build this thing together. Okay, question number 3. My students love the spinners, but they often don't pick the dare when they're doing the workshop. What should we do with the dares? So I have some thoughts about that. Hold on. Okay, let me pull out some props here. So 2 things that come to mind. One is that if you have one student who could be sort of like the tech manager, right? So they're the ones who would click and do the spinner for the whole group, if that's how you're doing it. They would also be in charge of the dares. So you could take the dares and you could print them out into these smaller task cards, and then give that student maybe 3 or 4 at a time, and they have them here, and flip them over so that the other students can't see it. Maybe just like fan them out, like so. And they could walk around the room and say, okay, pick the dare. Have another student pull the dare out. It just creates like more mystery and a little bit like, ooh, what is it? They're kids, so we got to do the thing. So then whatever they pull out, this one's about this van. And then this is like if it's not working for your kids, the other dares I have these older ones that are like Pac-Man related and kind of manga and all that kind of stuff. But then the other option is you could just be nimble with them, like, okay, pivot. Maybe these would be good for your quick write during warm-ups. What do you guys think? And because they really like the dares, but they just dig the spinner, because there's just something about spinners. It's just a thing. So you could do either one, give them, the kids pull it, or make it a warm-up. Okay, question number 4. We're going to go to 5 today. A question about why do I like to use Classkick versus putting slides into Google Classroom? I used to always be Mrs. Google Slides. Like, that was my thing, and putting them through Google Classroom, because you could, they open it up and you have access to them. They're all there at the same time. You can pop in and do that. And then this past year, our school got the pro account for Classkick, and I'd had this other teacher friend who'd been raving about it forever, and I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to learn something new. I don't know. But then one day I just was like, oh, I'm gonna try it, because the school really wanted us to do it. It's hard to explain, but the kids prefer it. They love to go in there. I don't know, like the entry seems easier for them, I guess. That doesn't make any sense, but the tools, the fonts, the text boxes, they can take pictures of things and it'll pop it right in there. They can make their own recording on there, the drawing on it. I can do digital stickers, that's one of the best things for me is when I'm doing the warm-ups and I'm trying to see if that first slide is perfect. I can see everybody's and I can literally just go boop, 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 and I count out loud. I say, okay, let's see how many, and we do like a little game. How many people can get it perfect the first time I go through to give stickers? And I'll count out loud, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like, I'll write it down and say, yesterday you guys got 12. Let's see if we can make it better this time. And it makes it all, it's just really quick. I don't know. And then I love that, like, I can put in all the resources they would need for an essay. It's always there in this one slide set. You can come back to it. I can block out some of the slides, so I only reveal certain ones. So when we did the argumentative essay, I only revealed one paragraph at a time. Otherwise, I have so many that would just go right ahead and just ram right through that essay and say, I'm done. And no, you're not done. You have to get your HIT introduction has to be approved before you move on. And Classkick really helps me do that without any of these barriers of saying, oh, click this button and update it. And don't have to do all of that. There's just like these slight things that make it easier. It does cost for Pro, of course. My school's paying for it right now, and I really hope we get it next year. But even if it's free, I think you get 3 or 5 like slide sets at a time. So I would still do that too. Okay, last question. Do you offer professional development? I don't know. So I have coached some teachers this past year. And if you wrote to me and begged me, then I would do it. But of course, and they paid some money. I mean, that was the whole thing. And it was a fantastic experience. The time of everything that is involved with all of that, it's hard to figure out where to go with this. I am considering doing like an overall training video to get everybody started at the beginning of the year. I don't know if I want to do like a whole paid course type of thing, because I don't want to add a whole nother like payment structure on top of all this. I don't want to make it complicated. The ebook kind of explains everything, and then all the YouTube videos that I have with it. But let me know in the comments, like what kind of professional development would help you, especially with getting this launched next year. I mean, a lot of you are doing it and already have ideas of what you want to do in the fall differently or how to kind of make it better. And I could do like a how to launch it video where it's just very specific. Day 1, we do this. Day 2, we're going to do this. Here's you're going to get short to the kids, blah, blah, blah. Does that sound helpful? Let me know below. I hope that helped everybody, and check out all the links that I have. Join my email list so you can get updates on that student-facing direction document when I finish it. All right, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.